vọng là một ngày nào đó ông thị trưởng cuối năm gửi bonus cho cảnh sát Carlo Rodriguez của mình ha quý vị. Dạ mình lại một lần nữa xin quý vị
Thank you.
vỗ tay cho dạ.
Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. Thank you for having me here today to speak to all of you. A little bit about myself. So I got into law enforcement in 1999, pretty much a long time ago. A lot of the little kids were not thought of that many years ago. 27 in total in law enforcement, and I've been driving the streets in Elmwood Park all those years. And I always wondered about when I passed the temple here, who attends that church? You know, I always saw it from outside, but I never really got in. And as just a regular police officer, we do know our different, business owners and different churches. We have 5 different churches here in Elmwood Park. But the last several years, the last just couple years, since I was promoted to the assistant to the chief, I got to really know people here, the monks that are here, Dal that are here, Dan, Ding and his family. And I take it to my heart to make sure that everybody here is safe. Why? Because I have a face now of who comes here. And I give all of you credit for attending today. It's very impressive, it's heartwarming, and I'm definitely going to share this with everybody that I know. So today, I want to make sure that everybody comes, just like we are here today, come here, feel safe, right? We want to make sure that we're going to come here in an environment that we want to stay together like family and continue that without worrying about what possibly could happen here. And so if we don't talk about it, it's like something like, maybe we don't want to be afraid for the kids to hear, or it'll never happen here. We need to talk about it because there's always a possibility. There's been over 500 of these active shooters in the last several years now. 500, over 500. And I was looking at statistics today. So to remind me of all these active shooters that have happened. The last one that really kind of touched me a little bit was about in 2012. There was, and I don't know if anybody heard of Sandy Hook, and I'm not going to play all these videos for you. If you want to look into them, feel free. They're on the internet, on YouTube. But Sandy Hook really touched me. In 2012, a 20-year-old kid argued with his mother at home. He became upset, irate. He shoots his mother. Then he goes to a school and he also shoots children. And so when that happened, it brought to my mind that this could happen in any age. So we need to talk about it so that way we are prepared. The Federal Bureau of Investigation, the FBI, has been putting out videos to help with schools, workplace, churches, right, places of worship, to go by three words, and that's run, hide, and fight. Can everybody say that for me today? Run, hide, and fight, right? And I've noticed all the exits and entrances here are marked exit. So we're going to try and run out of the room as fast as we can if something happens. If we're unable to, so we're in a closet, we're in a classroom, we're going to hide. And the third one is if this intruder happens to be in arm's length and nothing else you could do, at least you could fight for your life. So these are things that we are kind of shy to not talk about, but they're very important today. There was several videos out there. I chose one that's going to kind of fit my audience today because we have our children, we have our moms, we have our dads. So we're going to go ahead and play that right now, and then I'm going to go through a PowerPoint.
This may be the most important video you will ever watch. We hope not, because for that to come true, you would have to be involved in an active shooter incident. While the likelihood of finding yourself in an active shooter incident is small, the risk is real, and these situations are happening with increasing frequency on college campuses and elsewhere. Our objective is to help put you in control of the outcome. Everything we discuss in this video can be summed up in 3 words: run, hide, fight. But first, what is an active shooter? An active shooter is someone with a gun attempting to kill people in a confined, populated area. For you, that means someone with a gun on campus who wants to kill. The purpose of this video is to give you the tools and confidence necessary to survive an active shooter attack. How will you know when an active shooter attack is underway? Know that gunshots don't always sound like they do in movies. If it sounds like a gun, or even firecrackers, consider that it may be an attack. Do not wait for confirmation. Do not seek a second opinion. If it sounds like gunfire, it's gunfire. The same goes for screaming. While screaming doesn't always indicate danger, it may be a reaction to something terrible. Keep in mind that police are minutes away, not seconds. You must fend for yourself during this time. You cannot wait for the police to arrive. You cannot wait to act. If you are inside a building, use any way out available, including emergency doors and windows. Keep closed signs don't matter now. All options are available to you. Always be aware of your surroundings. Identify your options and make a plan. By the time an attack begins, you should already know where to run. Look for exits now, so you won't have to during an attack. When the time comes to run, leave everything behind except your phone. Everything. Just thinking about what to bring is time wasted. The most valuable thing you have is you. Grab yourself and go. Get yourself to a safe place. If you are outside, run away from the attack sounds. Don't stop running until you are certain you are away from danger and in a safe area. When running, try to make yourself a more difficult target. It might be slower, but it could be safer. Don't turn around to see what's happening behind you. It is unlikely that the shooter is chasing you, but either way, slowing down to look for the shooter is not a smart strategy. Once you are out of immediate danger, dial 911. Tell the dispatcher there is an active shooter and your location. Do not assume someone else has already called 911. Yours could be the one call that saves lives. If you think it's too risky to leave your current location, hide. Active shooters seek easy targets, so don't be an easy target. It's that simple. An ideal hiding place would be a room with no windows and a locking door, but that option might not be available when the time comes. Turn off lights and shut the blinds. Make it look like the room is unoccupied. Even partial darkness helps. Choose cover over concealment whenever possible. Concealment is something like an office partition. It will hide you from sight, but it will not stop a bullet. Cover is something that will do both. Heavy wooden doors, file cabinets full of paper, and objects of this type should always be your first choice. If possible, barricade doors behind you even if locked, but try not to make unnecessary noise in the process. Be silent. Turn your phone to silent. Disappear. Shooters don't waste time exploring rooms that look unoccupied, trying to break down locked doors, or searching for hiding students. Once hidden, be prepared to stay hidden a long time. Stay calm and be patient. It may take a while, but the police will eventually find you and lead you away from danger. Again, the time to look for places to hide is not after the shooting has begun. It is now. Wherever you are on campus, be aware of your surroundings and ask yourself, where could I hide if it happens? What are my options? Does this classroom have a closet? Does the door lock? What could I use to barricade the door? If no other option is available, defend yourself. You might not think of yourself as a fighter, but others just like you have surprised themselves with how effective they can be when fighting back was the best option for survival. The attacker has at least one weapon, and you do too. Look around. Chairs, textbooks, backpacks, rocks, pens. You have more options than you probably thought. One readily available weapon is a fire extinguisher. You will find them in nearly every hallway. You also have surprise on your side. The attacker is not expecting armed resistance until police arrive. This is your advantage. When you fight back, your goal is to overwhelm the attacker and minimize their ability to use weapons effectively by limiting their vision or physically disabling them. And with others nearby, weakening the attacker will give them confidence to join the fight. Lastly, when you fight back, don't stop too soon. Fight until the threat is over. The number one job of the police is to stop the attack. This means they are totally focused on neutralizing the shooter. Keep in mind that active shooters look like anyone else, even students like you. So when you exit a building, raise your hands to show the police that you aren't holding any weapons. You don't want to be mistaken for the attacker. Remember, just as you are afraid, the police are on edge too. They need to be ready to take immediate and decisive action. So your behavior is critical. Hands in the air. Avoid sudden movements. Obey police direction. The police will shout orders. They don't have time for courtesy. They must act quickly and forcefully. Do what they say for everyone's benefit. Like we said, the police are there to stop the attack. Once that job is done, they will turn to helping. Let's talk about helping others. This may be the most difficult decision of your life, but the best thing that you can do may be just to run and get help. Remember, most active shooter incidents begin unexpectedly and end quickly. Help is on the way. If you can remember run, hide, fight, you have the most important knowledge needed to survive an active shooter attack. Familiarize yourself with your environment. Plan ahead. If you are prepared, you will be able to run, hide, and fight without hesitation and with confidence. Please share this video, not only with your fellow students, but with family and friends. The active shooter threat is not limited to your campus, or to any public place for that matter. This could be the most important video you ever share. Thank you for watching.
Thank you, Kevin. He's setting me up here. So it is uncomfortable to talk about. There's some words that are alarming, but we need to talk about them. We need to talk to them about a plan. And that's why I'm here. I'm here for awareness, and I'm here to start you guys to start thinking about, and everybody here, to start thinking about a plan. Have your own self-plan, and also have the plan that Tao's going to have or Kevin's going to have. Anybody who's in charge, anybody who opens and closes here, make sure that there's a plan in place that everybody is a customary of following. And you might have a practice drill too. One day you practice, as you're walking. If something were to happen, we follow, the walkway and right outside the door. Of course, if something is happening, we're not walking, we're running. So I'm just going to do a quick PowerPoint, and then I'm going to have questions and answers for you, okay? The best that I can. So, of course, everybody knows who I am. I am the assistant to the chief, Carlos Rodriguez, with the Elmwood Park Police Department. And, with my years and knowledge of all the law enforcement, this is something that has impacted the country. So it's very important that we do talk about them. I have a class every couple months at the police station. I talk to children, I talk to business owners, I talk to churches. I was invited here today to talk to everyone, so thank you so much again for having me here. Number two, so why are we here? We're here to talk about shootings. As it sounds, it happens. And so, here's just a couple clips of recent ones that have happened. The one in Michigan at the church back in September of 2025. It was thankful that one of the churchgoers got involved and they eliminated the threat. Active shooters defined as Department of Homeland Security defines an active shooter as an individuals actively engaging in killing and attempting to kill people in a confined and populated area. So they're not going to just walk in somewhere where there's one person, maybe two people. The mindset of the shooter, he wants to shoot several people, multiple people, and hurt them. In most cases, active shooters use firearms, and there is no pattern for any method to their selection of victims. So it could be adult, it could be children, and so forth. And I just want to bring up Sandy Hook again because that really bothered me in 2012, because his mindset, he didn't care. He had no care for any human being. But the target of this particular attack was small children. And so if somebody, a 20-year-old who has a mindset to hurt a 6, 7, 8-year-old, he just didn't care anything about life. This might be too hard to read. It's just an assessment center for the United States Secret Service. They are putting out numbers. They're putting out videos to raise that awareness that this could happen. And so in churches right now, the percentage is a little smaller than having a shooter enter a school and the workplace. Those are the two places right now that they are targeting. The workplace has been around for many, many years. Most recent years, it was at the post office, and somebody went postal. It was a supervisor or worker who, just had a hard day at work and went to the post office and, shot his coworkers. So with the workplace, now it's becoming a little bit more prevalent to have it at the churches, have it at the schools and the workplaces. We're porting out just the general population. And these are all just numbers that I really don't want you guys to, write down or try and remember. My main goal here is to just bring the awareness that this is happening. So the next couple slides just have some numbers, but I just want to go over the concerning behaviors, the warning signs. There are warning signs. Somebody who just joined your church, looking around, has a lot of questions for the staff. Maybe his intentions are not just to come here for church, but maybe 1 year later do something to harm people. So those are things that you have to work out. So that's why we're concerned about somebody's behaviors. They really want to go in. They want to participate. They want the key to the door. That sort of thing. So that might alert people too. Department of Homeland Security put out and again, when we're talking about the recognize of signs, the expressed or implied threat. So you have a child or you have a teenager and they start talking about something like this just out of the ordinary. You might be doing some artwork and the artwork looks like, maybe somebody's getting hurt with a little, red or blood inside the artwork. Maybe there's something else that's going on in his mind. Observation and surveillance. So just our cameras that are out are very, very important. Make sure we have cameras. Photographs. So if the shooter, a potential shooter, if he's taking photographs of people going in and out, writing their names down a lot, they're trying to remember who they to watch out for and who's more vulnerable to shoot. Thefts. Somebody's new to the church and some things are missing, where they start with classroom supplies to somebody's jacket, that's somebody who's disturbed. They start stealing things. So we need to be careful with that. These are all signs that are just showing you that this could possibly have a potential shooter. How to report suspicious activity. So what are we going to do? We're going to let, the children, we're going to let somebody know, right? We're going to let a teacher know. We're going to let a supervisor know that something is wrong. And we're also going to dial 911. So everybody knows 911? What's the number? 911. Yes, that's the number. Homeland Security. These are just some more online services that can help you design your plan. Tao's going to put something together as a plan, and then he's going to share that with everybody. Everybody in the congregation is going to have the same plan. And it takes time. It takes time. It takes participation. But it can't be forgotten. Prevention, and that's where I'm at here, and that's why we're talking about this today. We want to prevent this to happen. So soft lockdown. People have heard this at school, right? Kids, have you heard of soft lockdown? Yeah? You probably practiced the soft lockdown too now. The last, I want to say 5-10 years, they started using the soft lockdown at the schools. And that's basically if something's going on outside the school. So say there's some police activity, say there's some lights, sirens, somebody at the school, the principal should be calling the village and asking, I saw a police car drive by, I heard some sirens, what's going on? They said, don't worry about it, we're about 3-4 blocks away, there's no threat to you. The principal then decides to do it a soft lockdown, just to make sure that everybody's safe, everybody's accounted for. So that's what a soft lockdown is. Everybody stays inside, no outside recess on that day. So again, it's a civil disturbance outside in the area, some gang activity. We don't have to worry about that here today in Elmwood Park. Disruptive person, a visitor, that's somebody who's visiting in the neighborhood or at the school who became disruptive. Suspicious person in the area, somebody who continues to walk by, looking, taking pictures, that kind of thing. So that suspicious person, we get a lot of information from our post office, mail carriers, and they're outside and they know who belongs and who don't belong. Even though they're carrying that little bag and they have the little letters, they call us a lot, and they let us know, there's a car in front of this house that doesn't belong there, or there's a man that continues to walk coming down Fullerton Avenue. So we depend on them a lot because they see things day to day, hour to hour that we don't as a police officer. Soft lockdown procedures, so someone of authority make the announcement, so they're going to announce it. We're having a soft lockdown. We're going to still continue our classes. No one to go in and out. Give others specific tasks. Watch the doors. Someone to remain by a telephone, if needed, to call the police. Check and lock all exterior doors. Is there a video surveillance? So one of the things I really like and I push is camera systems. And so I'll have a discussion with that. You guys have a great camera system here. I like to just add more cameras or switch out the ones that you have for better ones. Cameras are very, very important. There is now a device that goes within the camera that detects that it's an actual person. So it's an AI system. So that's kind of new. And I'm hoping that people learn about it and they get that added and adapted to their system. Soft lockdown is all clear proceedings. So once notified by the police, fire department, status, everything's clear, the lockdown should be lifted. The hard lockdown. Okay, this is what we don't really want to see. It alarms everybody when they see it's a hard lockdown. That means something is active. Something is going on. And so if you guys hear hard lockdown, then you need to be really, really alert, okay? So everybody knows the difference between a soft lockdown and a hard lockdown, right? Can everybody say soft lockdown? And now a hard lockdown. Yes. Hard lockdown, the word even is kind of like hard, something that's as hard as the table, right? So think that hard is not very nice. So if you hear that, language is very important. So we want to communicate between one another in the manner of using these type of words. Soft lockdown, hard lockdown. Well, as hard as it to talk, hard lockdown could be an active shooter, could be a hostage incident, it could be a kidnapping or abduction, out of control person, other life-threatening events. And then the response would be respond immediately. The police, and I just want to say also with our police department, I got to brag a little bit about our department. So we have 38 police officers full-time. And if something were to happen here, whether it's a car accident or somebody needs help here, a monk is stranded, whatnot, locked out, our response time is about a minute and a half. So you can expect a police officer here 1 minute. Call 911. Everybody knows that, right? We're going to call. Thank you. Contact the police immediately. The person who's calling the police has an important job. They're dialing 911, and you're going to say, we need some help. There's a man there in a white shirt and blue pants that doesn't belong here. Your description of the person is very, very important. So you want to start from the top and go to the bottom. So you would describe me as a man in a white shirt with a tie, blue pants, right? Okay? Glasses, you could say glasses as well. And this is the detail: height, weight, clothing description, facial hair. Does he have a beard, a mustache? Any of those descriptions of that person is very, very crucial. You need to give some sort of description. Is he wearing a red shirt? Is he wearing a green shirt? Sometimes these people change clothes too. So you might have saw him in a green shirt running out the door. You have to say you saw him wearing a green shirt. But by the time he gets to the corner, he took off the green shirt. Now he's in a white shirt. So now the police officer coming, we're looking for somebody in a green shirt and he's in a white shirt. So that does happen too. It's not like they're fooling us. We still know that happens. And of course, when you are calling 911, give as much description as you can. How many people were injured? Where are the injured people? So when the fire department come here and the paramedics, they know where to go. The hard lockdown options. Know your options and take immediate action. So that would be the run, hide, and fight. Crouching down and hiding behind a table. So run. Leave all your personal belongings behind. I know you might not grab your jacket, grab your wallet, grab your purse. Just leave everything and just start running. Avoid long hallways, escalators, elevators. Visualize escape. So in your mind, think about your plan of escape. I'm going to run down the stairs. There's the door. I'm going to run out the door. So think about these things. Keep it always on your mind on your escape route. So someone's going to be responsible for locking the doors. At times, you're in a classroom, you're having a little discussion, you're having artwork done, and you're in a classroom, and there's not time to run. So someone's going to lock that door. So, and again, these are all plans that have to be before something happens, and it'll have to be practiced. There's a plan, and then we have to practice the plan. Move persons and hide along the wall, closet. So depending on how the classroom is laid out, that's how you outline your plan. And then turn off the lights in some cases. Silence your phones or your devices. So, whether you got to close the laptop, turn off your cell phone so that it's not ringing. Remain silent. So don't make as much noise. I think you guys are pretty good with that, especially during meal. That was awesome. I enjoyed my meal. Thank you. During meal, everybody was quiet and just enjoying. That was nice. So the last would be the fight and distraction. So you have no other choice. Your teacher is going to make sure that the children are safe in the classroom, but that teacher might have to fight. He or she wants to protect the kids. Fight by striking, kicking, anything that, and then again, this is the person who's in charge. They might be in jiu-jitsu or some taekwondo. I was in taekwondo for many years. It's a Korean martial art. But something that they have learned while they were a kid and now they're an adult might come to mind to help protect the children. Now, first responders. So we're coming on scene. Okay, we're figuring out what's happening, who needs help first. So the police officers then are coming on scene. We're going to take over and make everybody safe. Assist in any way possible. Follow orders. So you might be yelled at, get on the left side, get on the right side. The officer is excited. We have weapons, whether they're long guns or small guns. So when they give you an order, it might be screaming at you. Move to the left, move to the right. That's okay, because the officer is still trying to assess what he needs to, what the threat is, and where to locate this, the threat. Do not grab on the officer. So sometimes people want to grab us, please save me, that kind of thing. But that's a distraction for the officer. So here I'm trying to, look for the bad guy, and I have somebody hanging on my back, and it's a distraction now. So just leave the officer work. That's happened a few times, and that's why it's in here. And just so you know, we haven't had any active shooter here in Elmwood Park. We haven't had anything here. I'm knocking on wood. But this is the videos. This is our training that we do. And sometimes somebody does want to hold on to, make more safe. But it actually is a distraction for the officer. So please don't do that. And then the video that I played was equivalent to where we're at here. And now we're here for questions. So I might not have a lot of answers. There's some things that I do and do not know. I can find out and get back to you, but anybody who has a question, please feel free. This would be a great time to do so. I was just asked about talking about carrying weapons here at the Buddhist temple here in the Truck Lamb. So what that is it's a concealed carry license, and it's a license that's given to someone to carry a weapon whenever they, throughout their day. So they leave their house, they put their weapon on, and they, maybe go to work, go to stores, and possibly go to church. So that's something that you have to get permission to do if you want to come here. Yes, you can carry it at any time, but if you're coming into a place of worship and carrying your weapon, at least let somebody know that that's going to happen. They might want to have a copy of your driver's license and your CCL carry. They might depend on you to help them that day too. But at least it would be on record that you are coming here visiting with your weapon. And it has to be updated. There's an expiration. You have to get that recertified through the state of Illinois. So that does happen. And so I'm asking, if you are going to carry your weapon here, to please let somebody know and have them have your information on file. Now, as far as a security officer being here with that, we know that it's a security guard who's going to be here with a weapon, whether he's in uniform, showing some sort of markings, having an ID around his neck. Somebody that have you recognized before is here. If you don't recognize that person and somebody's here with a weapon, then you need to let somebody know. And then that person will then verify if that person should be here or not. Okay, I know it's a little difficult, but this is just communication. We know who's in this room today. We might have seen them before, maybe 1 month ago, 1 week ago, but there's somebody who's familiar to us. Somebody who's not familiar to us, you need to let somebody know. Okay, any questions at this time? Kids have a lot of questions sometimes. And did you want a question? Maybe with the microphone, so that we could hear it. And thank you.
I just want to know if we come in here every Sunday and it's kind of making noise around the neighbor, and if you see someone is not happy with the activity around it, what are you going to do?
Okay, so maybe the neighbors are not happy with the activity going on inside here. You could let me know. Actually, you could call me, and I'll go and I'll speak to them, and I'll explain to them that, maybe the parking is not as comfortable when you're here on Sundays. I will do that. Somebody will call me. They'll let me know that maybe somebody that lives third house from the corner from Wellington, you might feel that, they're uncomfortable. They purchased a home here knowing that this church was here before, right? You didn't just come here today and then living there. They bought the house and the church has been here for a long time. So they should have already expected that there's going to be some parking issues or that maybe there's a little bit of noise, and that's okay. But if there's any time that you feel that there's a problem with a neighbor, let me know and I'll be able to handle that. That's very easy for me. Thank you.
What happens when there's like a shooter and then like in a school, like he breaks in the classroom and then like starts fighting? Can we like grab a pencil and start stabbing him?
Yes. First we're going to do a few of the things before that. Two things before that. And if you remember those 3 words, what's the first thing we're going to try and do?
Run.
We're going to try and run. Second, what are we going to try and do?
Hide.
And the third thing, if you are, the offender comes in, we're going to fight. So we're going to try and follow those 3 steps. We're going to try and run first, but if we can't, we're going to hide, and if we can't hide, we're definitely going to fight.
What if his exit is like far away from you and like you're in the bathroom?
You're in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good question. Because in the bathroom, you're kind of confined a little bit, right? There might be not the window that you can't get out, and you're on the 2nd level. I would come out, see where maybe the problem is at, and run the other way. If you can't run anywhere, you're going to have to hide. And that's that number 2, where you're going to hide somewhere in that bathroom. In some schools, I think that you can't even go to the bathroom by yourself. I think there's 2 people that go now. I don't know what school you attend, but there would be 2 people that would be going to the bathroom at once, so someone's not alone.
If you're hiding, is playing dead good?
Is playing dead good? Well, that does happen. There's been at times where there's a mass shooting, and in the shooter's mind, he just wants to continue moving forward and not stop. So if he's past you and you're playing, dead, so to speak, and laying there, that might save your life rather than you running. So it just depends on the situation. But the shooter, it wants to go to that staircase. He wants to leave from here and continue on. And that's where his mind is. He wants to continue moving through and then out the door.
What if you're sleeping and then it just comes in?
Yeah, well, if you're leaving, then he just comes in, then you have to run the other way. If you see him coming towards you, then you need to run the other way.
No, like what if you're sleeping?
If he's sleeping,
Yeah.
well, that's even better if he's sleeping, then you just have to run the other way.
Then
Okay.
you can poke him. What if like he was there and when we were in the bathroom and he was at the bathroom and we come out, what are we gonna do?
You're going to have to run. You're going to have to do the first thing on those 3 words was run, then hide, and then fight.
How can people like hack into cameras? Like, can that happen?
With a camera?
Yeah, can people hack into cameras?
Yes, they could help with the cameras. If they have a cell phone, and which most kids do, and if you can, you can take a picture. If you cannot, which is not recommended right now, I'm asking you to run, hide, and fight rather than you try to take a picture of somebody and then run. So it just depends on the circumstances. If he's too far away and you maybe want to take a picture so that you could help identify him and give that picture to a police officer, but that's not recommended at this time. We want you to run, get out of the danger zone, hide if you need to, and then fight if you need to for your life.
If you like take the fire extinguisher or like
Yes.
spray water into their eyes
Yes.
to blind them, could you take their gun and shoot them in non-lethal spots? And
I would not go to that extreme to do that, because you need to know how to handle a weapon to do so. You might have to adjust something to it. So if you're using the fire extinguisher, after that, throw the fire extinguisher and run. So at that point, you're at that 3rd level already. You had an opportunity to run and you were unable to. Your time of hiding is done, so now you're engaging with him. You're fighting with him. You engage with the fire extinguisher, you drop the fire extinguisher, and then now you run.
what is a Alice drill?
What is a what?
Alice drill?
An Alice drill. Very good. Oh my God. Where's that little girl that's asking that? Kevin, can you come on over here for real quick? What is an Alice drill? I'm going to pull it up so everybody could see this. I am impressed that she asked that.
Classroom, and then when you log into Google Classroom, you will find that
There's a student in the upstairs hallway with a gun.
Being prepared for rare case that a school shooting would occur is very important. In 2007, students were directed to hide under desks in the case that a lockdown would take place. However, following numerous school shooting incidents across the country, the U.S. Department of Education researched the issue and, according to their findings, have changed those rules. Introducing ALICE. ALICE stands for Alert, Lockdown, Inform, Counter, and Evacuate. Following the procedures of ALICE will help to reduce the number of deaths and keep more students, faculty, and visitors safe.
I saw a student with a gun upstairs.
He's alerting somebody now.
I saw a student with a gun upstairs.
Okay, Mrs. Allen, call 911.
Can I have your attention, please? This is Mr. Leatherman speaking. It has been reported to the office that there's a student in the upstairs hallway with a gun. Teachers, please take appropriate action. We will communicate further information to you as it becomes available.
A stands for alert. If you see anything suspicious, especially a student with a weapon, be sure to alert the nearest staff member so appropriate actions can be taken. If you are in a hallway when an announcement is made, be sure to enter the nearest classroom and tell the teacher your name and what class you should be in.
L stands for lockdown. When it is announced there is a lockdown, everyone should work together and stay calm. Teachers should lock the classroom doors and a student should insert the night lock. Stack desks, chairs, and any stands or cabinets that you can barricade the doors with. Attendance should be taken during this time and note any extra or missing students. Be sure to stay quiet during lockdown and have items prepared in the case of a counter. Books, computers, water bottles, and notebooks are just a few examples of items you can use and gather. Everyone should have some sort of protection.
Lockdown. That's going to be a hard lockdown.
Mr. Myers, the threat is out of your immediate area. You are cleared to evacuate now. Get your students out. You are in charge.
I stands for inform. As information is sent to the office, calls will be made to individual classrooms with information as to evacuate or stay put. If a call directs you to leave the classroom, find the nearest exit and take that way out. If at any point in the classroom or out you notice something, alert your teacher at once. In other words, act upon the information you have been given. C stands for counter. If the shooter somehow enters a classroom, students and teachers are directed to counterattack. If possible, manage to get the gun away from the shooter without anybody getting hurt. Throw anything you can get your hands on. If you happen to get the gun from the shooter, be sure to get it further away. Do not touch it for any reason. Cover it with a trash can and guard it.
This is when we encounter the shooter.
Hey guys,
and somebody
I think
said that
was
leaving
about right there.
restroom.
Let's start heading to your seats. Put away your cell phones. Get out your books. Girls are running a little bit behind, so let's move, okay? Get your cell phones put away. Austin, running a little behind today. Let's get your seat. Let's put your cell phone away. Get out your books so we can start doing our reading.
Can I have your attention, please? This is Mr. Leatherman speaking. It has been reported to the office that there's a student in the upstairs hallway with a gun. Teachers, please take appropriate action. We will communicate further information to you as it becomes available.
Get out, get out, get out, get out, get out.
So that's Alice. I am so happy that she asked that. Can we see the young lady that asked that? I can't see where she's at. Please come up. I want to shake your hand.
We know that we have a limit of time, so
Okay.
but we have one question online.
Thank you. Everyone, I need a round of applause for her for asking that. It is very important that we have, something in our mind that we have already talked about. She had remembered that there was some Alice training at school, and so she brought that up. Well, I thank you for having me today. I appreciate everyone. If you have any questions or concerns, you can always get a hold of me. Thank you so much.
She behind you, Carlos.
Here she is. I want everybody to give her a round of applause. Thank you so much. My hand? Thank you.
Sir, we have one online question.
Oh, one more question.
before-
Oh, okay.
Online question.
I've got all afternoon. I can stay here till tonight. It's okay.
Yeah, the question is, if you killed the active shooter, is it considered murder?
No, that person saved lives. He's going to be a hero for the forever. He saved someone's life, so no.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, we, on behalf of the Trúc Temple and my abbot, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, everybody.
And be here.